Are you looking to understand the profitability of a company? Key metrics like return on equity or ROE and return on assets or ROA help reveal how effectively a business generates profit from its equity and assets. What's the key difference between ROE and ROA? The main difference between the two is that ROE only looks at profitability from an equity point of view, specifically the amount of invested capital from shareholders. Meanwhile, ROA looks at profitability from a total assets point of view, including assets financed by debt to generate profit. How to calculate ROE and ROA? ROE is calculated by dividing net income by the average of two ending equity periods. Meanwhile, ROA is calculated by adding back interest expense to net income and dividing it by the average of two total assets periods. This is used to measure the operating performance of the business regardless of its financing decisions, whether the assets are financed by debt or equity. In our three-statement model, these ratios are automatically calculated for each year and compared over time to analyze trends in profitability. The benefits of calculating ROE are as follows. First, it indicates how effectively management is using shareholders' capital to generate profits. Second, it helps investors to assess the return they're getting on their investment. And it is useful for comparing performances across companies in the same industry, especially those with similar capital structures. Meanwhile, its limitations include: companies with high debt can have an artificially high ROE because equity is reduced, hence making a company appear more efficient than it is, whether it's driven by sustainable operations or risky financial leverage. Lastly, ROE doesn't consider how well a company utilizes all its resources, like its total assets. For return on assets, its benefits are: first, it measures how well a company is using all its resources to generate profit. Second, unlike ROE, ROA considers all assets regardless of whether they're financed by debt or equity. However, this can also be a limitation as ROA does not distinguish between the two. And it is good for comparing asset-heavy companies like manufacturing and utilities companies. As for its limitations, it is not ideal to compare companies across industries due to differing asset structures. For example, tech companies that offer digital services typically have fewer physical assets, while manufacturing companies that produce tangible products often have extensive asset bases. And companies in expansion mode, or investing heavily in assets like warehouses, factories, or research and development for future growth may make ROA appear weaker in the short term despite strong long-term potential. The only limitation of both is that these ratios don't tell you the real operating picture if the company has a lot of unrelated assets on its balance sheet, such as excess cash or non-operating assets. As you can see here, excess cash can lower the ratios than a company with less cash on its balance sheet. So in this case, we calculate ROIC, or the return on invested capital. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more valuable financial insights.